how long did it take for you to get up and running to be sent out to a consulate or embassy? Just going to DC and learning and stuff.
So my cone initially was management. So that's a, gosh, I forget, maybe 10 weeks of training or 3 months, something like that. Not a whole lot. But then when I went from Pakistan to Santo Domingo in the Dominican Republic, that was the intense part of training because it was both a consular piece, which I think is maybe another 10 weeks. I'm not sure now. It varies. Just because they change, their plan on their needs for officers, and they either shorten it up and intensify it, or it was a little longer probably when I was in.
Yeah.
But then the language piece, the Spanish, that was 7 months. So yeah. Yeah. So then you live in DC and they put you up in an apartment. And you just go to school. That's your job during the day. You're either learning a trade craft or you're learning a language. And then they even truck you back and forth between your apartment. And so you're kind of provided for pretty well.
What is the language course? Is it just like in high school where we take Spanish? Or is it more intense or one-on-one? How does that look like?
No, it's a lot different. So I went to Texas. I grew up in Texas, in my high school years and stuff. So I took a lot of Spanish there. And there you'll learn, some vocabulary and a little bit of grammar, but it's not so intense on the speaking, and really not even intense on what I would call the practical reading. So what State Department's emphasis is speaking and reading. So you have to be able to carry on a conversation, and in a wide variety of topics like global, geopolitical issues, because they want to know if they send you to a party at the ambassador's house, if you can carry on a conversation with a minister or vice minister or something like that, and promote the U.S. interests, right?
Yeah.
And then also be able to read, whether it's a magazine or a newspaper article. And it's pretty intense. I mean, it's quick. It's kind of gist reading. You're getting the gist of what the article's about. You're not going to know exactly because it's, very advanced conjugation and vocabulary. So you're not going to know verbatim, but you kind of get the gist, and then be able to report back, not only what it said, but also take questions, Q&A, and kind of carry on a conversation about it. So the emphasis is reading and speaking, not writing really at all.
Interesting. It's probably a lot of pressure too, because you got once you get this done. So
wow, yeah, and it's all day. It's not like college where you got calculus in the morning and chemistry and then Spanish. It's Spanish all day. So fast paced.
Interesting, but it's a lot of pressure. It's just too much at the same time, but it gets done, I guess. So
yeah, and sorry, go ahead.
No, so I mean, you're stationed in Pakistan as well. Were you working consular there, or were you working management, stuff like that?
That I was management. So I was an assistant to the management counselor for the whole country. So she was in charge of Islamabad, Karachi, it's one that starts with an L, I forgot the city, Lahore, yeah, and Peshawar. And so we kind of managed we supported the consular section if they needed logistics or things, we provided all that for them and handled their human resources and that kind of stuff. So I wasn't really in the intricate consular business in Pakistan. So
what year was that?
Gosh, that was 11 to 12. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So let's see. 11 to 12 was going on in Pakistan at the time. I mean, it's always some leaders being overthrown there coming up there, but
yeah. Osama bin Laden just happened. Yeah. Just before I arrived.
Interesting.
And then, there was a dust up in Peshawar, I believe, or Lahore with this guy, Ray something, the contractor that worked for the US.
Now, how often, because that's considered like a dangerous place for, an MC officer to walk around the streets, but it could be a very fun place too. Like, would you ever go out, or how was that private, like just getting outside the embassy with the people?
It's kind of it was a joke to us. They said, we don't think it's Islamabad, we think it's Islamabad, because it was kind of like the Riviera of the region. depending on the threat level, we could get out at night and stuff, if things were ticking up and getting a little more hot, we'd have to stay in our houses. At that time, we lived in the city. I think now they have the compound all up and running, the new compound, so everybody's living on the same embassy grounds. But I loved it. I love the Pakistani people. We constantly would go to the markets and the restaurants. And I missed my family because it's unaccompanied. You don't have your family there with you. So that was the toughest part.
Yeah.
But you get to go home like 3 times a year. So it's good.
And so after that you went to Dominican, and then you were going on full consular at that time, right?
Yeah, that was 100% consular. And so normally, like for a consular tour, you would do one piece would be non-immigrant visas, one piece would be immigrant visas, and one piece would be American citizen services. They like to kind of hit you on all 3, even if you're not a strictly consular officer. But I enjoyed, I guess, because of the legal background, because it's very, I mean, as you know, statute intensive and tons of law involved in the immigrant visa part. And I just enjoyed it a lot. So I kind of cut a deal and stayed in the immigrant visa section the whole time. So it was great.
Interesting. How busy was it? I mean, San Domingo is not probably the most busy immigrant visa place, but there's probably a lot going on there still, because there are a lot of American connections. It's so close.
It's one of the busiest. I mean, it's what they call it, a visa mill. I mean, I don't know its ranking worldwide, but we did 40,000 immigrant visas per year. And this was back when I was there. Yeah, 2013 to, I think we left in 17 or 18, something like that. Because I also did a management tour there. So I was there a long time.
And so this is more than Dominicans. Okay, that probably serves as the base. People from Haiti probably go there too, I'm guessing, or do they have?
Not as much as you would think. I mean, they're a couple, but the Dominican Republic is heavy. Everybody on the island wants a visa. I mean, everywhere you go, if they find you have anything to do with the embassy, I mean, just visa. And
I have a colleague who's Dominican, and he does like so much business there. I'm like, is there that much cases going on the island that you can run a whole office with a couple of people? But it's good to know. That's a good marketing location to Dominicans. It's a big community. I didn't realize that.
Yeah, but I would say the majority of my clients are Dominicans. I still have a lot of contacts there, and
very cool.
And then the non-immigrant visa side of the house, I think they ran 120,000 or 150,000
major
a
post
year. And then the American citizen services, I mean, there's so many, I forget, 250,000 dual citizens or American citizens live in country or pass or are routinely there. So, and 2.5 million Americans would go through there every year back when I was there. So, COVID and everything, but I mean, it's pretty intense, very strong connection with the US. And then baseball is huge, huge baseball.
So a lot of those Ps and those kind of specialty visas, I don't know, Bs.